I'll jump on here today and give you a nice little answer to a really cool question that came through in regards to fasting, intermittent fasting. And basically the question was, what were my thoughts on intermittent fasting? So firstly, we must remember that I am coming from a naturopathic point of view. And also with my area of working with healthcare is not just from a place of looking at an overall. My place is to look at you as an individual. So what is the person representing in front of me and what is going on with their system to find out the exact way or the exact protocol that can help that person. So I'm going to give you two answers. So firstly, intermittent fasting, I love it. I think it's a great idea to give your body a rest and digest. The best time that your body will go through the process of elimination and having its detoxification pathways and its cleansing is while you're sleeping. So especially from 11 p.m. all the way to 4 a.m., even a little bit after, because that's the adrenal times. So your body has a clock. So your organs all have a clock, and we can do that in another segment of talking about that. But what we want to do is give all the organs and all the systems an appropriate time to properly cleanse and rest and digest. So we are already doing that when we sleep. Having good quality sleep is all part of allowing your body to do its job. So when we think about fasting, you're already fasting for 6, 7, 8, some of us 9 or 10 hours, in a session of sleep. So you're already fasting for that amount of time. So when we think about intermittent fasting for different hours beyond that, I say that it is a really good way when your body is, 1, in need of it, or 2, that you are in a healthy state, that you are able to cope with that. Okay, so let's go firstly with 1, your body is needing that. If I have a client come to me and we are dealing with a significant health issue that is a chronic issue and something that could be fibromyalgia or even cancer, or something that's quite chronic, and that is we're needing a fast action because we're needing to give the body a little bit of a shake up, then long-term intermittent fasting, so long hours I should say, so up to 15, even sometimes 18 hours can actually be a really good thing. Or even 24 hours can actually be a good thing, because what we're doing is we're taking control back of the body and we're shaking it up a little bit. But if I had somebody come to me with, let's say, fibromyalgia, but was an extremely anxious person, an extremely worried person, then the last thing I would want to do is shake that body up, because that person is going to feel even more uncomfortable, anxious, and out of sorts if we shock the system. I hope that makes sense to you and where I'm going. Everybody is different. So the fasting is appropriate for our body to rest and digest. Yes. We need to fast. Good 12 hours is a really healthy way of fasting, and we can do that just by looking at the times that we eat. So, for example, I really try not to eat any later than 6 o'clock at night. I try. Sometimes, depending on cycles and where I'm at in my own health and journey through the month and things like that, then 6 o'clock at night will be the latest. Ideally, we try and have a main meal either lunchtime or around 4:30. And if it goes to 6 o'clock, then our dinners will be lighter. So we will have lighter foods. And I'm a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan because I will eat honey. I do like honey often. And I will eat a little bit of egg every now and then, or a little bit of goat's cheese every now and then. So I will have light foods at nighttime. And then I will when I wake in the morning, I always start my day with a big glass of water and sometimes up to a litre of warm water with lemon. And I will have a look at that time. So from 6 to 6 a.m, there's 12 hours easy. So if I don't eat until 7 or 8 a.m, there's 14 hours. And if I'm eating at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then there's another couple of hours on top of that. So see how easy it can be. And I will particularly stretch that time out, like that fasting time out, if I'm feeling bloated, if I'm feeling like I'm needing to reset. So there's resetting from a physical point, but also resetting from a mindset. If I've had a big week, or if I've had, if I'm feeling a bit full, then I'll go, hey, you know what? I'm needing to clear and become lighter in my energy body. And that's another aspect of fasting. So then we come to an area of fasting, so when we need to. So if there is, as I said, chronic health conditions or something that we're needing to shake the body up, then I would definitely suggest a fasting in that way. And I don't believe that long-term fasting is necessary unless there's a reason. And that reason is really hard to explain over a video like this, because the reasons could be many. And remembering I'm a health practitioner, I work with emotional, spiritual and physical health, because so when we're looking at what is the reason, there are so many things that we could choose out of all that to why we want to actually give the body a reset. So I wouldn't give a body a reset if they're not ready for it. If somebody's very airy and very anxious. So example, I had a beautiful couple come to me recently, and both of them were very into intermittent fasting, and with his symptoms that were presenting, he was eating far too much light, airy food and not enough. So his whole body was so disconnected. He was so disconnected from his body that we kind of needed to anchor him back in. So he was fasting for anywhere from 15 to 16 hours daily, and then eating really, really light food. So I actually swapped that around and brought it down to no more than 14 hours. About 12 hours was enough for him to fast, and to actually bring in lots more root vegetables and eating actually regular every 3 hours. Within 3 days, significant changes. So the question today was, what is my thoughts on fasting? Great. We need to reset and digest with our body. Great. We are already fasting through our sleep, so try not to go to bed with heavy food. And if you are eating past that 6 o'clock, then really, really be careful, or not be careful, but just watch and be aware and mindful of what you're eating. And then when you break your fast in the morning, think about what you're eating. Some beautiful fresh fruits or vegetables is a great way to break a fast, rather than having Vegemite on toast or any a huge amount of fat. If you had huge amount of avocado or things like that, it's the same. Our body's gonna have to process all that fat. But whereas if we have some fruits and vegetables and all those high vitamins and minerals, and even the fructose of sugar of fruit, I'm not worried about, because our body thrives off that. Our body actually really loves that. So my kind of breakfast is seasonal fruit. So I'll have different seasonal fruits, and then I might have a little bit of coconut yogurt with it, or I might put a little bit of oats or some sort of beautiful cereal grain thing like that, or I might have a bit of fruit and then wait a little bit. And then I'm big on having those rice crackers with some sprouts and tomato and things like that for breakfast. I'm a bit of a weird eater, because I like to eat vegetables just all the time. I don't like cereal, and I don't like toast with sweet things on it at all. So besides the point, I hope that has answered your question today, this spontaneous, what do I think about our fasting? I hope that has answered your question today. And at the end of the day, listen to your body. If it's needing to reset, then hey, back off things from food and from internet and from many things. That's a fast in itself. Making sure you're having lots and lots of fluids. You won't starve yourself if you don't eat for a day. And guess what? You won't die if you don't eat for a week. You won't. Your body is stored so much that we can actually thrive. You need minerals, and we can get that through being in nature and in the sunshine, and you need water. So huge amount of water, and lighten your body up. But long-term fasting, away from just your regular 10 to 12 hours of sleep, then I would guide someone through that if there is a reason for it. And that could be physically, that could be emotionally, and that could be spiritual purposes as well. Thanks for listening. Send in your next questions, and I always look forward to chatting with you about all these great topics. Okay, much love.